All right, we're going to go through the PDF for senior level number 1. And let's go ahead and open it up, and then if you have it printed out, which you should inside of your binders, go ahead and go to the table of contents. You see that right there. Okay. Now, practice log. This is very important because I want you guys to take down every minute that you practice. Like say for instance, if today is the 5th of December, you would write down in your practice log, in the first column at the top you would have the month, and then you would write in the word December. And then you write in right there underneath the minutes column, right next to 5th, for instance, if you practice 30 minutes, you write in 30 minutes. Okay? And then the second column, it will be a running total for how much you practiced so far. So on the 5th, you would write in 30 minutes, and then right next to it for total, you would have 30 minutes because that's all that you practice. You go on to the 6th day, and then you practice another 30 minutes, and then you put in the column right next to the minutes a total of 60. And then the next day, if you practiced another 30 minutes, and then the total will be 90. So you just follow along all the way down to the bottom, and then you have a grand total at the bottom. And then turn to the next page, we have a checklist. And this is a general checklist. You'll see that there's lots of them there. There's like about 305 different little boxes that you can you can check off. As you accomplish each of these exercises, you'll get a check mark by your teacher, and then that will show that you have achieved proficiency at it. But this will tell you your progress, and then if you are a child, then this will tell your parents how far that you've come. So you can show it to your parents if you wonder, if their parents are wondering what it is that you're practicing and how far you've gone. It's like, well, look, Mom, look, Dad, this is how much that I've done so far. I've got all the way up to 128. And then I am about halfway done through the entire course for level number 1. Okay, so make sure you put a date on there and put your name at the top and the level number. Okay, down at the bottom, well, it's like a little awards point system. If you've done 50 exercises, then you can check off the big 50 down there at the bottom, or put a star or happy face or whatever it is that you like there. And that way that it kind of gives you like that little motivation that we get when we make an achievement. Like say if you play video games, you get an achievement, you get an award, and then the more awards you get, the higher ranking that you get. And that's basically the same idea, and then it makes it a little bit fun. Okay, so we'll flip over to questionnaire. Fill out your name and your age, and if you are a child, go ahead and put your mom's or mom and dad's name there. And answer all those questions, and that way that we'll understand what it is that you're interested in. If you're also interested in piano or singing or drums or whatever the case is, you write it in if it's not listed there. And what is your goal? Make sure that you have a goal that you have in mind. Like say that you want to be just like Jimi Hendrix, or you want to play just like Ed Sheeran, whatever the case is. Or if you have an uncle that you want to be just like and he plays guitar really well, you want to be like that. Make it personal, okay? Some people, what they really want to do is that they want to play in a band, or they want to be able to be a solo artist, or they want to be able to write their own songs. Write that in, and that way that when you see this, it kind of gives you a reminder of what it is that you're trying to do this for. I mean, you're doing all these exercises. Your exercises sometimes can be a little bit tedious, but then when you start to think about what it is that you really started playing guitar for, then you'll understand that, man, this exercise is going to get me to where I want to go. Make sure you keep that in mind. Keep it in front of your mind all the time. That way that you'll stay motivated. Being motivated is one of the most important things about playing guitar. Okay. All right, and then number 3, what will you do when you don't feel like practicing? And then you make a choice there. Okay. Now I hope that you wouldn't check quit guitar. Okay, I would hope that you would practice anyway and then talk to your teacher about this. But you shouldn't quit guitar, and you should not just simply take a break from guitar, because that just basically means that it's code word for quitting your guitar. Okay, so make sure that that you talk to your teacher, stay inspired, And also, if you have any other comments, something that is going to, any thoughts that you would have about, like say that you want to be like a great-grandpa, then you write that down. That way I kind of understand where you're coming from, okay? All right, now practice schedule. Name at the top, and then you're going to write the time of day that you're going to practice. Now, if you're taking classes with me, then like say that you're going to be taking classes Monday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Write in the start time 3 o'clock, and then the finish time will be 3:30, and that's 30 minutes that you're going to practice every day on Mondays. Now, if you want to practice more than that, you can. If you want to practice 2 times a day, you can. Just make sure that you have a target time written down for every day of the week, not just the day that you are going to be practicing and getting your lesson with me, but every day that you're practicing at home. Okay, like on Tuesday, maybe you're not going to be able to practice on Tuesday at 3 o'clock, but you're going to be able to practice maybe at 8 o'clock at night. You write that down. Every day of the week could be different, but make sure you practice every day, including Saturday and Sunday. Okay, and then you'll see what you can expect for the number of minutes that you practice. So make sure that that you practice at least 30 minutes a day if you are 13 years old or older, 20 minutes if you're younger than that, and if you're a really young beginner, like starting at like about 5 years old or so, then you could probably practice just about 10 minutes, and make sure that your parents help you out with that sort of thing. Okay, so now, BPM stands for beats per minute, and you'll hear me refer to that a lot. And that refers to metronome. We'll see what a metronome looks like here in a minute. Okay, make sure you stay motivated. Okay, write down your goals. All right, now, next page, page number 5. The parts of the guitar. I want you to look at the pictures. I want you to memorize it. Know what the parts of the guitar are. Musical alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There is no H or anything else after that. And the musical alphabet will start all over again as you go higher in the scale. So it'll be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and keep on going up and up. So the note after G will be A because it starts all over again. Okay, and the same thing happens when you go backwards. The the letter that comes before A in the musical alphabet is G. Okay, so don't get that, let that get you confused. Remember, there's only A through G. Fingers, okay, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and actually 5 is going to be T in this case. Okay, so if you see T in your sheet music, that usually means that you're going to be putting your thumb over the top of the fretboard in order to fret it. You don't see it too often, but you do see it. Okay, now the number of strings, we have 6 strings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 different strings on the guitar. Okay, number 1 string is the thinnest string. The number 6 string is the thickest string. Okay, I want you to understand that and memorize that. Okay, we flip the page, and then we have some basic counting. Okay, and then we have a section says music can be counted in various ways, but for now we will be counting in 4s. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. You see that little diamond right there? That diamond is stands for whole note. Okay, and a whole note, you're going to hold it out for 4 seconds. Okay, so for right now, we're just going to clap every time that we say the number 1. Okay, and then for right now, I'm going to just tap my guitar with my pick, and that will be clapping along. Okay, and then if you want to clap, you go ahead, or you want to tap your guitar just like this, you can. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to turn on the metronome. Okay, metronome is going to be set at 80 beats per minute. Okay, 80 beats per minute. And then we're going to clap or tap your guitar for every time that we say 1. I'm going to give you guys a 4 count. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, So that means that there was a whole note, so you hold it out for 4 seconds, okay? And then if we were going to be playing like some sort of chord or note or something like that, so let's play a note. Let's say just play the first C string. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. It's sort of like seconds. 80 beats per minute is actually a little bit faster than a second each, but it's pretty much it's pretty close. So you can say that you hold it out for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and now we have half notes. Half notes, we are going to tap the guitar on beats numbers 1 and 3. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and I did that measure a total of 4 times, and I tapped the guitar on beats 1 and 3. Okay, and those are called half notes. Half notes are half as long as a whole note. Okay, sort of like a whole note has a dollar. It's sort of like a dollar. It has 4 quarters in it, 4 25-cent pieces, and then you also a dollar would have 2 50-cent pieces in it. Okay, so a half note would be like a half dollar, and you would hold it out for 2 beats. So I'm going to go ahead and play the E string, and I'm going to play it for beats 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Holding out for 2 seconds each. Okay? Now, the next one are quarters. Okay? That little thing looks like a hockey stick. That's actually a quarter rhythm slash. Okay? And it's the same thing as a quarter note, but it doesn't really indicate any particular note or any particular quarter, any particular chord. Okay? All right, so we're going to play this just like the third quarters. Like there's 4 quarters in a dollar. There are 4 quarter notes in a whole note. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now the thing that's beeping this whole time is called a metronome. All right, this right here, metronome. You can get this at Guitar Center. It's not very expensive, $5, $10. It's not expensive at all. Okay, but I do highly recommend that you get one of these things. If you don't want to spend the money, you can get one for free on your smartphone. If you have one, just look up metronome. Okay, and then you'll find a free one. Go ahead and download it. The one that I like is called Metro Timer. That's Metro Timer. All right, now holding your guitar, you take a look at your at the picture, and it shows him holding an electric guitar. Now I'm sitting down with my guitar right now. I got one leg kind of raised up. I got another leg a little bit lower. Okay, and I have my my guitar on top of my raised leg, which is my left leg. Okay. This is called classical guitar seating position. You could put it on the other leg like this, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes I sit like this too, because it's a little bit easier on my back. I've got back problems. But as far as like for your wrist is concerned, it's easier on your wrist this way, okay? And then so it'll be easier to play guitar like this. A little bit harder on the wrist this way. A little bit easier this way. It's okay if you want to do either or. I'd rather that you do it this way, develop that habit, but it's okay if you want to do it the other way. There are people that play it the other way and make millions of dollars, and how can you argue against that? Okay, now we take a look at holding the guitar. There's an acronym there that we use. It's called GAMERS. Guitar should be centered on your body, and then the angle should be at 45 degrees, not really horizontal like this, but 45 degrees. And then you want to have a minimal wrist bend, and that's why if you have it over here, you're going to have more of a wrist bend this way than you would if you were to hold it up this way. Okay, so try not to bend your wrist too much because it could cause a little bit of strain on your wrist. Now keep your shoulders as even as possible. Okay, relax your arms. Don't get all tense and everything like that. Relax your arms and keep your back straight. Okay, and the picture there shows him, he's holding it with a guitar strap, and just sitting down is going to be similar to that. Okay, now guitar tablature 1, 2, and 3. You have 6 lines are used for tab. The top string is the thinnest string. So when a lot of times when you hear people refer to the top string, they would call that the top string, okay? Even though that when you're sitting with your guitar, standing with your guitar, that this string right here is closer to the bottom, it's referred to as top string, okay? There are 6 lines used for tab. The top string is the first string, is the thinnest string, not up here. This is the lowest string. Low means low in pitch, okay? As in low voice, as opposed to high voice, okay? So you want to understand that difference, because when you take a look at the tablature, you might get yourself a little bit confused. Remember that the blue string, that shows number 1, okay? It says E, and because that's the name of this string, is the E string, it's also the number 1 string. Okay, that right there is the number 1 string. Okay, and the next string is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and when you read it, the very first note on this diagram, you'll see it says a number 2, and it happens to be on the B string. So the second string, 2nd fret is right here. Okay, right there. That's where it's at. All right. That's your first note that you would play according to this diagram. Reading from left to right, the next note that it wants you to play is this 0. Right there, that's it. Okay, reading left to right, that is 0, and it's on string number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure that you're doing it the right string, okay? That's the first red string on your diagram, okay? That's it right there. And then you'll have a note right here on the 6th string. It's also an E string. It's a low E string, the thickest string. And then it tells you to play that note right there. And then I would use your 3rd finger as well.